to 1776. Let us awaken then and evince a different spirit, a spirit that shall inspire the people with confidence in themselves and in us, the delegates, a spirit that will encourage them to persevere in this glorious struggle, because it wasn't over, until their rights and liberties shall be established on a rock. We have proclaimed to the world our determination to die free men rather than to live as slaves. And at this point, when he gave this speech, they literally had a bounty on their heads. They were dead men walking, if you will, if they failed in the cause of liberty, and they knew it. We have appealed to heaven for the justice of our cause, and in heaven we have placed our trust. Numerous have been the manifestations of God's providence in sustaining us in the gloomy period of adversity, and they weren't done with adversity. We have had our cloud by day and pillar of fire by night. That's the steadfast hand of Almighty God. We have been reduced to distress. That was the moment they were in. And the arm of omnipotence has raised us up. Let us still rely in humble confidence on Him who is mighty to save. Good tidings will soon arrive. What encouragement! We shall never be abandoned by heaven while we act worthy of its aid and protection. Now consider, this was a speech given in what is effectively by a representative of the United States Congress on the floor of that chamber to fellow members of the United States Congress. I feel like going down and giving a speech right now on that floor. I'm so inspired after listening to Samuel Adams. I haven't heard Nancy Pelosi give one of those speeches lately. I think I'm going to give one. Let me go on further. This is from the Boston Evening Post of May 16th. And this was an order given by the British. It was published in the newspaper. And it was orders to bring back to England in iron chains Samuel Adams and John Hancock. Can you imagine that if there was an order published in the Washington Post, bring Michele Bachmann to us in iron chains, what would my response be? This is our inspiration, Sam Adams. He wrote 2 days later, and he wrote to a Connecticut patriot saying, he said to them in his letter suggesting that the colonists should go for a year without importing British goods in order to financially starve the British. And I quote, "What would this be in comparison with the sacrifice our renowned ancestors, the Pilgrims, the Puritans, made that they might quietly enjoy their civil liberties and their religious liberties? They left, many of them, affluence in their native country, crossed an untried ocean, encountered the difficulties of cultivating a howling wilderness, and defended their infant settlements against a most barbarous enemy with their richest blood." So he said, keep on. It was his neck on the line, and he was encouraging his fellow patriots to keep on, keeping on. And then Dr. Joseph Warren also wrote why we have this spirit of 1776. And he said this, "It's an indispensable duty which we owe to God, our country, ourselves, our posterity, by all lawful ways and means in our power to maintain, defend, and preserve those civil and religious rights and liberties for which many of our fathers fought, they bled, they died, and to hand them down to entire future generations." Over and over and over. You can't read our founders, but see that they saw that they were interposed at a time in history when they needed to look back to the Pilgrim Fathers and the Puritans in appreciation and in thanks for what they wrought to get the founders in 1776 at the point they were at to be poised for independence and poised for liberty. And out of thanks for what that generation had done, they were willing to lay down their lives, their fortunes, their sacred honor. And so they felt they could do no less but to put their lives on the line. But not only for their current liberty, they did it for us. They did it for the posterity that was yet to come, because they didn't want to cheapen the sacrifice of the Pilgrim Fathers. Oh, what great people we are descended from in our founders. And then Sad Adams wrote, "We, for our part, are determined to live free or not at all. And we're resolved that posterity shall never reproach us with having brought slaves into the world." We will talk a little bit about what's transpired in the last 18 months. And would we count what has transpired as turning our country into being a nation of slaves? Those are just a few words of what I've read to you from our founding fathers. There is so much more and so much farther that we could go, because again, it is out of respect for the sacrifices that were made by our nation's heroes. And then it was also in turn out of love for the next generation yet to come, who deserve the same gift of liberty that we have been given. That's it. That encapsulates this blessed spirit of 1776. And between Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid and the AFL-CIO, SEIU, AFSCME union complex, this raw power grab by the progressives, led by one President, Barack Hussein Obama, in a matter of, because now we can say that, did you know that? Now we can say that. In a matter of 18 months' time, their collective policies, as Bill Armstrong told us, have induced the creation of the broadest group of this coalition that is now amassing under this new banner across the country. And this banner, I would posit, is literally fashioned out of the very parchment of the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution of the United States, and the Bill of Rights. That is the banner of this new coalition that Barack Obama has brought about. And who is under this banner? Unbelievably, disaffected Democrats by the boatloads are on our side. 3 days ago, there was polling data. Oh, they're with us. They're one of us. Let me tell you, they love this country. 3 days ago, polling data came out. Independents in this country that overwhelmingly went for Obama a short 18 months ago, 38% of independents are with the president today. That's called losing. Absolutely losing, and he is dropping like a rock, and he is going to bottom out, in my opinion, at 33% or lower with independents. And so I'm just here to tell you, this gavel won't be staying in Nancy Pelosi's hands for that much longer. It's over. It's turning of the guard. That's where we're at. If we do this right, and I'm also here to tell you that Harry Reid very shortly will be joining that 10% unemployment line in the United States of America. And we need to get used to saying Senator Sharon Angle. That's what we need to get used to saying. And when that happens, we will just be hitting our stride. I want you to know, because you heard it here first, Barack Obama is a one-term president. He is a one-term president. It is going to be done. Get ready, Bill Armstrong. Get ready. He is a one-term